All right, y'all, it is finally NFL season, and I am pumped. So I'm going to start a new series. This is going to be ranking every NFL team's jerseys from worst to best. 32 has to be the Falcons. They rolled out these new jerseys for this season, and they are pretty bad. This is a case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Their old jerseys were fine, so I don't know why they decided to change, and these are awful. I mean, the white and black ones aren't nearly as bad as this one is with the red and black fading into each other. I don't like these at all. 31 is the Rams. These look like what happens when a third grade AAU basketball team lets the kids design their jerseys. Normally, I like crazy jerseys, and these are definitely crazy, but these are crazy bad. 30th is the Colts. Now, these aren't bad like the first two we saw. They're just really boring. There's nothing unique about these that make them stand out. Not a whole lot of color to them. Nothing special here. 29th is the Cardinals. They're not terrible, but I just think they're pretty bland. I mean, they do at least have the stripe on this edition, and the black ones do look kind of nice, but nothing special overall. 28th is the Browns. Now, these are certainly a major upgrade from their old uniform, so give them props for that. But overall, I'm just not a huge fan of these. A little bit bland, not a whole lot to them, and I don't like having brown as your primary color on the uniform. 27th is Washington. Now, these right here are atrocious. These two aren't as bad, but I'm just not a fan of the really dark burgundy and the really dark yellow that they use. 26 is the Giants. Now, I actually really like this one you see here, but I punished them because I don't like either of these. They're just super plain. I know it's a classic look for them, but there's absolutely no spice to this uniform. 25th is the Jags. This one is very boring. This one is very high schoolish. And this one over here is okay, but with a color scheme as great as they have, they could do so much better for their uniforms. 24th is the Texans. Now, I do like the red jersey you see here, but with their two primary jerseys, like a lot of the ones we've seen so far, they're just a little bit boring, not a whole lot to them, but their helmet is sick, so that's what got them this far. 23rd is the Raiders. Now, I might get a little bit of hate for this because these are obviously one of, if not the most iconic set of uniforms in the NFL, but when you just look at the actual bones of them, it's basically just black, white, and silver, and there's not a whole lot more to them. They're very bland. 22, the Cowboys. Again, another one that I might get some hate for because they're obviously super iconic and one of the most recognizable jerseys in the NFL. But when you actually take a look at them, if you forget about the fact that they're the Cowboys jerseys, there's really not a whole lot special to them. But I will say the star on the helmet is very elite. 21 is the Bears. Again, we have another one that falls in the category of very iconic, very recognizable, but nothing special or unique about them to make them stand out. 20th is the Patriots. I think these are a little bit better than their old uniforms, and I really like the striping on the sleeves, but what hurt this one for me is I just feel like the numbers are huge. It feels like they take up way too much of the jersey. 19th is the Saints. Now, I really do like the Color Rush jerseys, but I think their primary jerseys are just kind of average. There's nothing super elite about them, but nothing to make them bad either. They're solid. 18th, the Chiefs. Again, just your typical average NFL jersey. Nice color scheme, overall nice design, but really nothing super special to write home about. 17th, the Bills. Now, I like the red ones, and their primary ones are just like the last couple we've seen. Just your normal NFL jersey. Not one of the best, but also not one of the worst. Pretty average. 16th is the Vikings. Gave them some credit for having a unique color scheme. Not too many teams have a purple and gold look. I also really like their helmets, but what hurt them in this rankings is I'm not a big fan of the Color Rush jerseys they have. Don't really know why, but I don't like them, so that's why they weren't higher. 15th is the Chargers. Like the color scheme, like the uniqueness to it. The lightning bolts all around the uniform are sick. Just a little bit too crazy to be any higher. 14th is the Dolphins. I just love their color scheme. I also really like the font that they use for the word Dolphins. It's hard to tell in this picture, but it's a really nice look, and I really like this jersey here on the left. 13th is the Broncos. This one's just a classic look, and I really like the color scheme as well as the numbering style that they use for the numbers. This one's well done. 12th is the Packers. Absolutely iconic and one of the most recognizable uniforms in the NFL. I really like the overall design of this one. The striping that they have throughout is really nice. But for me, I just couldn't have it any higher than 12 because I don't like the color scheme of dark green and yellow. For someone that likes the color scheme, it would have been higher, but personally, I'm just not a fan of it. 11th is the 49ers. These are just really well done. A nice color scheme, a nice overall design, and these black uniforms are amazing. Number 10 is the Eagles. Absolutely carried this far by their black uniforms because they are sick. Their other ones aren't too bad either. I like the eagle wings on the helmet and also the eagle logo on the sleeves. Number 9 is the Panthers. Some of you might be surprised it made it this far, but I just love this color scheme. I think the light blue and black looks amazing, and I also really like the Panther logo that they have on the helmet. It looks really good all put together with the rest of the uniform. 8th is the Bucks. Not a whole lot to any of these, but I just think all three of them are just really clean looks, and I personally really like the white away edition. 7th is the Ravens. This is another one that I just really like because of the color scheme. I think purple and black together looks fantastic. I also like the yellow trim that they have on various spots of the uniform. And the best part about this one is the Maryland flag logo that they have on the shoulders. 6th is the Jets. Maybe a surprise to some of you that they made it this far, but plain and simple, I think these just look sick. And I especially love the black alternate editions that they have. 5th place is the Lions. First of all, I really like the numbering style that they have. I don't think any other team in the NFL has one similar to this, so it's super unique. And the other thing I really like about these is all of the gray in each of these just really makes the blue pop. 4th place is the Titans, another team with the unique numbering. I think these just look really cool too. I also like the fact that they have both light blue and dark blue in their color scheme. That looks really good, and I like the look of their helmets as well. 3rd place is the Bengals. I love these just because they're perfect for their name. They've got the tiger stripe on the helmet, the pants, and the sleeves, and orange is also my favorite color, so I'm a little partial to that. Number 2 is the Steelers. Now, I'm actually not a fan of the look on the left, but I love both of the ones on the right. It's one of the most iconic looks in the league. It's a great color scheme, and it's just overall a really clean design. And I think the best jersey in the NFL is a no-brainer. Got to be the Seahawks. A fantastic color scheme. I think it's the best in the NFL. Overall, just a clean design, nice striping down the side. These are amazing.